It's the real world. It's the real world. It's the real world. It's the real world. Subscribe and like my channel. It's the real world.
Hey y'all, this is my first YouTube video, and I'm gonna dedicate it to my mother. And I'm not really gonna go into details about her death, but I'm gonna give y'all the story of how it happened and what happened and how I'm dealing with it. So October the 1st, 2015, around 11, hopefully y'all can hear me, I'm driving, around 11, I would say 11:50 going on to 12 o'clock, somewhere around there. My grandmother came to the top of my steps and told me that I need to get up because something was wrong with my mama. I remember throwing on my Ugg boots, some shorts, and I don't even know if I had a shirt on. I could have probably just had a jacket on. Cause like I said, I was sleeping. I had took some NyQuil. Me and my mama was laughing earlier that day. And she said, I'm going to, before she walked out the house, she said, I'm going to leave my purse here because I don't want nobody to bust me in my head to think that I got some money. So me and my grandma had looked at each other, but not knowing, but we looked at each other like, what? So I ended up going to sleep. I took some NyQuil and I ended up going to sleep. Later that night, I told you my grandma was yelling my name. I came up the steps, I went next door to where they found my mom at. She was at a friend's party. And I was calling my mom's name. The people downstairs would not open the door for us to get in till we finally got in. But when I got to the door, she wasn't saying nothing. And they was telling me like, you can't go in there, you can't go in there. So I called my sister, who was already over there, but she ended up leaving because she was supposed to meet my mom. But I didn't know she was over there. Like I said, I was asleep. I called her like, yo, tell my mama, you need to get back over here. So me, my grandma, and my sister was out there calling my mom's name. I think my aunt was out there. I can't remember. But I know me, my grandma, and my sister was out there. We was calling my mom's name, and she wasn't answering. So we finally made it back into the building, and we was going up there. But when we came down, when I went up there, the fireman told, pretty much told me that I couldn't go through the door. So he went in there. I think the police went in there, and I came back down the steps. I was just standing in front of the building. So my aunt, that's up under my mom, asked the fireman, was my mother okay? And he shook his head, no. He was like this. So when he said that, my god sister was turning the corner, and she said, what's going on, what's wrong? And I was like, can you take me to my aunt's house? I hope nothing ain't wrong with my mom. I hope nothing is not wrong with my mother. So she took me to my aunt's house, but I kind of had a feeling of what was going on because the type of mama that I had, if she knew that her mama and her kids was out there calling her name, I don't care how much pain she was in, she was going to answer. So I ended up going to my aunt's house, and I ended up telling her like, something wrong with my mama. They came knocking on the door, telling my grandma that my mama was bleeding. See, but when my grandma told me, she didn't tell me that my mama was bleeding. I mean, now she just said something wrong with your mama. So I'm like, okay. I go to my aunt. By the time I made it back home, it was like yellow tape. There was so much stuff like yellow tape, the police, the coroner, daddy was in the other room bleeding, and he had passed away too. Make a long story short, they didn't tell me and my grandma who did it. They ain't tell us nothing. I know my grandma told me that they said they found the person who killed your mama, but they'd tell me who did it Monday. Monday and I'm coming. Yeah, Monday and I'm coming. They didn't tell us. We watched the news. It was all over the news. Like, they told my grandma they was gonna tell her, but they didn't call and tell her. It was just all over the news. So when I walked out the house, the news reporter was trying to ask me questions, and I just didn't want to talk. But make a long story short, the person that killed my mom was somebody that I went to school with. He didn't have no real reason. When we went to court, he said he was at the wrong place at the wrong time. He kept trying to say that my mama boyfriend did it. We was telling him to describe her boyfriend, and he couldn't do that. So pretty much he did it. He called my grandma. Grandma called us like family. It was just, yeah. It was bad. It was bad. We found out that my mom was shot. So many people had like different stories about what happened. Where everybody had their own little story about what happened. But we found out what happened, and yeah, that's it. I ain't gonna go in like details and all that, but I had to make my first YouTube video about my mom while I'm in a little good spirit. I can talk about it. If I'm sad, I just definitely can't talk about it. So, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed. I might give y'all part 2. We're going into details, but I don't think that's important. It's important, but I don't want to bring it up, so I don't want to trigger myself. So, TTYL, hope y'all enjoy.